7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
This week's edition of STT Tutorial, number one video game podcast at Titicaca. This week, Bryant Butthead Daniels, and joining me across the universe on Skype is none other than Todd Cornholio Fortner. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I was finna clown and be straight up like, you know, the corn. Oh, but we from the lake or lick Titicaca.
It's just so childish. I miss Beavis and Butthead so much. Oh, man. I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for
Are you
my
talking to me?
Like,
There we are, son.
man, do you remember that was the big controversy? Beavis and Butthead was the biggest controversy in the world back when it first came out. Especially, man, like, just like nobody had ever seen a cartoon like that before. Not quite like that. I mean, Heavy Metal came out in the 80s, but it wasn't quite Beavis and Butthead level of stupidity and insanity. And then the music videos, where they would just make fun of everybody and everything. Nothing was safe. Nothing was safe. I miss Beavis and Butthead, man.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy how it foresaw the opiate crisis in America based on the Cornholio character. But now, all jokes aside, man, it's fun to do this again, man. I want to ask you first, man. How you feeling today? How you doing?
Man,
you know
I am good, dude. I am actually really good. It's been one of those like very tiring weeks. Like, I actually was supposed to get on the game last night with Bob, and I was so exhausted. I did the ultimate lazy man, where I came home from dinner with the wife. I bought Heavy Metal magazine, and I was reading it, and then I went to go sit down and play some games, and I sat down on the couch, and I got all comfortable, and then I was going to get up and put the Monster Hunter World disc in, but Judgment was already in, and I was like, I'm not getting up. So I'm just going to play Judgment right now. That's exactly what happened. It's been an exhausting long week. How has your week been?
It's been great. It's been
Good.
a great week,
Good.
especially considering let's get straight into it. Normally we do a round table, or, you know, where we discuss this topic. We do, you know, what we've been playing, the news, not in that particular order. Is actually, you know, backwards probably, but or we do like a top 7. This week is an interesting week because Bryant brought up a good fact that I didn't know about, and it had to do with the Doomsday clock reaching 100 seconds to midnight, and that means it's, according to world scientists, it's the closest point in since the end of the Cold War, where a whole bunch of different factors, i.e., like nuclear war, global warming, you know, global pandemic. We the closest based on scientists, you know what I'm saying, whoever they are, to some fucked up happening and becoming dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Neil deGrasse Tyson there, so I don't know how much Bill Nye yet. Well, but Bill Nye did like turn the world and like on fire. It's just actually fucking hilarious. Where's fucking Captain Planet? But anyway, so you brought
That's who I want.
and then we were just like, okay, let's talk about post-apocalyptic games and everything like that. You know what I mean? And whatever's going on. And then come to find out, like, the next day, the coronavirus existed. And I was like, damn, thank God I don't drink Corona. But, you know, so we was just like, shit, fuck it. How about we have, you know, just a conversation, man, and just switch it up. Have a good time. I mean, I'm in here with my Skip the Tutorial hoodie on, you know, looking like Beavis. I probably need to get a Skip the Tutorial hat. We need to get into that type of shit.
Yeah, we need to get those STT hats rolling.
Shout out to Dewey. But yeah, man, we just want to hang out with our people, man, and talk about some shit and fuck off. Because the number one rule of the format, if you've gotten to this point, and thank you for getting to this point, is we talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yep.
It's just about bringing it, you know, good people together, having a good conversation, man, talking about games and, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
bringing things together.
This is like booty cheeks. Yes, bring it together like booty cheeks. It's the best plan. But yeah, man, like, I was thinking about it myself, and just the Normally we would do, like you said, we get together, we talk about what we've been playing, the news, a roundtable, or we do a top 7. This week just felt right for kind of a free form. Like, we haven't done a free form in a long time. Like, we've done them before, but it's been a while since we've done one. And so I think it's time to actually get down to the free form, the science of what makes a good conversation. And you're right, man. Like, this 100 seconds to midnight, I saw that on the news the other day. That's the first time. And then, talk about the coronavirus popping up all of a sudden out of nowhere, and they're projecting like potentially could kill like 36 million people worldwide, and just like,
well, the simulation we already talked about, it was 65. But
65. Also, I didn't know.
The crazy thing is how dope it was, like how it ties into like our post-apocalyptic, especially video games, input it specifically. But just maybe in entertainment in general, like our fascination with that, and why I kind of try to explore that kind of conversation as well with like the real life shit that's going on. I think
I agree. Like, there is a fascination with it, right? Like, you think about like the movies and the video games and the medium. Like, just start with like TV shows, right? Like, how big was The Walking Dead for a while? That show was huge. And that's all about that zombie apocalypse survival style. Like, even the Telltale series, the Walking Dead game, they came out, and they had a Walking Dead spinoff, and they got another one that's happening right now. And so there's something about, like, the idea of the apocalypse. I think what it is, especially in those apocalyptic scenarios, and we'll get to it with the games and stuff like that, I think what fascinates us is how we would survive. Like, thinking about being the last survivor, and like, there's something kind of peaceful to the. You remember I Am Legend with Will Smith?
Of course, she would use that. Now, I remember the original I Am Legend with the old white dude that was Dracula, whose name shall not be spoken.
The Omega Man. You talking about the Omega Man?
Nah, I remember
Charlton Heston.
I'm just being an ass, bro. I'm just being a dick.
And there's one right before that. It's called The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. Right. It's all based off the same story.
That's the one. Last Man on Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. The Last Man on Earth.
I love that movie, man.
I think The Last Man on Earth was basically what I Am Legend was more.
Yeah.
Adaptation of. That's not the right word, but you know what I'm talking about, broski.
Yeah, it's all based off that Richard Matheson story. I Am Legend. Because it turns out at the end of the book, he's not actually like, he's killing the next evolution of humanity, and he's really the only last man alive. And it depends on what story your or version of that, because the Omega Man with Charlton Heston that came out in the 70s, like, that's that story, except it's pretty clear he's the antagonist from the beginning. He's just like busting in their hideouts while they're trying to sleep, and he's just killing them while they're just sitting there trying to sleep and hide from the daylight. But it was the 70s, so all the vampires were like dressed out in 70s gear, and it was pretty cool. But I think there's like this like fascination with survival, like what it takes to survive, and would we be the survivor? And there's also a weird like peacefulness to it. Think about it, because there's some people who like wish for that stuff to happen. They like want it to happen. They want to be the last because they just get so tired of the daily grind and stuff like that, and it can beat you down a little bit.
Right, and I'm just realizing, this is what I love about our show. As much as we might try to discuss it, and sometimes whatever, like try to see, okay, well, what's the topic? Like we discussing, this is how we get here. When we start recording, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I didn't realize that you'd been reading Metal Magazine lately, and I know some other shit that's been going on in your life, so no wonder you're sitting up here looking for fucking doomsday clocks. I personally was trying to dig into a little book that my sister got me. It's kind of more of a journal called Zen as Fuck. It's by Monica Sweeney, and I've been listening to Alan Watts a lot lately because of the Snozzberries tasting like Snozzberries. So I hadn't really just been focusing on that type of shit, even though I know that it's there. You know what I'm saying? One more shout out that I love to reference at all times. Shout out that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What is the number one rule of the galaxy, my friend?
Don't panic.
So with that fucking said, should we panic is the question. Do we survive? Is the stereotype correct that, motherfuckers like us would actually be the first ones to die? And, what is a STT tribe possible, game plan? Does it include a Bootiest bunker? Shout out to Bootiest Bob. I'm sure he can help us out with that. We need to put a game plan together, people, possibly, is what I'm trying to say, too. So if that comes out of the conversation, you got some suggestions. I got a few, maybe to help us potentially survive, or is it, or is there hope? You know what I'm saying? Like, like I don't know, man. We're gonna see where this motherfucking conversation goes. I'm probably still want to talk a little bit about DBZ. We still gonna talk about regular games a little bit, but
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
This is our weekly thing, bro.